All right, so this video is how you can use fair value gaps in your trading. All right, and I want you to go watch my initial video on a particular indicator that is called Smart Money Concept by Lux Algo. If you go to Trading View and you type Smart Money Concepts, this is the indicator here, okay? And it's by Lux Algo, and as you can see, yeah, you have 42,000 people. People who are using this strategy. Now, this tool is very powerful because it contains a lot of things. But today, I want to just talk about the fair value gap component of the smart money concept indicator. So what is a fair value gap? Before I get into that, I want to open up the smart money concept indicator. So recall we've done a lot of discussion on the smart money concept indicator in the past. All right, so go watch the videos, please. I'm trying to call up this indicator. When you call it up, most of the stuff there is can accept the default, but I'm trying to look for the fair value gap component here. All right, so here it is. Here you have fair value gap. All right, so check this, time frame charts, extend VG5. This is just the default. All right, these are just the default thing. And remember, I've already taught us about the premium and discount zones here. All right, earlier. So fair value gaps. You see these areas marked green? These are bullish fair value gaps. This green, this green, this green, this green. These are bullish fair value gaps. Now, what is a fair value gap? I'm going to hide this indicator to help explain it to you in a bit. All right, so let me hide this indicator and then show us. Let me also hide this so I can show you what I mean. If you look at each candlestick closely, and let me try zooming on the candlesticks. If you look at each candlestick, there's an open, there's a close. All right, if you look at this candlestick, the open and the close coincide with the next candlestick. All right, so the open of this one and the close coincides with the next candlestick. So a part of this candlestick must touch the next candlestick. All right. And apart from that, 2 or 3 candlesticks, they usually will be within the same kind of range. I'm just trying to keep this simple in a way that you understand it. So here's another example. This candlestick opened, went high, came down, closed. Then the next one opened, went up, came down, closed, and then the third one. Can you see that between these 3 candlesticks, there's a kind of there's a kind of range where the 3 of them, interact together. Their prices intermingle, sort of. And that's how it operates, okay? I'm just trying to paint a clear picture for you. There is no gap, right? There's no gap. So look at this one. Look at this candlestick. This candlestick opened, closed, the next one opened, and then there's a big jump. It went up, closed, and then the third one. Notice that this third candlestick has it doesn't touch this previous one, this one here. All right. The price movement does not coincide with this one. So this one created a gap. This one created a gap. And I hope you are getting an idea of what I mean. So when you look at 3 candles together, the price should, the 3 candles should kind of have a kind of common intersection of how prices move. Okay? Just like if you look at this one. Okay? Look at this. opening and closing of this one coincides with this one and coincides with this one. So there's no gap here. All right. But if you look at this one open, closed, and then there's a jump. And then the third one, the price of the third one did not in any way come close to this one, right? So there's a gap. So this gap is usually measured from the wick of the first candle before the gap, the candle that created the gap, to the wick of the last candle. So let me show you what this means. So right from the wick of this one to the wick of the third candle, that is a gap. Okay? That is a gap. Now, if you come here, this is the candle that jumped and created a gap. Look at this candle from the top of the wick of this one to the third candle. Yeah, let me just make it approximately this way. That is the gap. All right? So when the three candles, there's no common price, there's a jump or a gap where the third candle does not touch the first one, then you can spot a gap. That is a gap that the algorithm of the market must come back to touch. Okay? The algorithm of the market will, if price pumps, after price has pumped, the rule is that since a gap was created, the algorithm must come back and touch the gap. So generally, remember, there's nothing that's 100% accurate in trading, but some things will help you have more accurate entry and exit so that you reduce losses. So that is a very important concept I want you to understand. And so when I put back on the smart money concept indicator, you can see this place I marked and here where I marked, it has already pointed it as a fair value gap. And you can see there's one here also, all right? So what does it mean? It means that price will, see, when this fair value gap was created, price will pump up, but because the gap has been created, it will come back and touch that gap. Either it will touch it or it will come very close to it, all right? That is the concept of fair value gaps. So look at this. Price went high. It came back. Okay, went up and closed. Did you observe that price came back and touched the fair value gap? Price came back, touched the fair value gap, and then fired up. Now here again, and this is the 15-minute chart, right? Now look at this. The jump happened, the third candle, okay? Look at it. Price went up and came back and touched the fair value gap again. So when you see a gap like this, just know that price will touch it. And once price touches it, it will move. Now, when you're doing your TGS strategy and you see a fair value gap like this, especially when the fair value gap is on an equilibrium or discount line, when price comes down to it again, you see, it has touched the fair value gap. When price comes down to it again, this for me, when I wake up and I see it like this and I'm on this candle, look at this candle very, very well. This candle is telling me that the buyers came, sellers dragged it down, but the buyers pushed up, right? This candle is a good candle to tell you market is likely going up. All right, this one was a little star candle. Yeah, it also can be almost like a sign that the market is going up. Okay, but don't be too worried about all these candle shapes and all. You can gradually get your knowledge into them, grow your knowledge in them. But just remember, let's turn on the Bollinger Band now. So this is Iris. When price came down here, automatically I will know that I can buy. But then I have to check what KDJ is doing. So this is KDJ. Let me go to the 15-minute chart. All right. This is what we're talking about right here. Okay. So KDJ now opened up here. This was a fair value gap. All right. This was a fair value gap. Even with your eyes, you can see it. All right. Price came back to it. Automatically, I know it will push. The green that you saw in the previous page is a bullish fair value gap. And because Royal Q, focuses on upward movement, this is a good price. So look at this. If you got in, you could have made some good money. Even if you targeted just this level, you could have made at least 5-6% easily. All right. So that's the power of fair value gaps. All right. So this is an example with Iris. Now look up here. There was an imbalance here again. There was an imbalance here again. All right. And this is the gap. What are you expecting? I expect price to touch it again. And you see price touched it once, went up, touched it again. So the person could have had multiple jumps into making money here. All right. Because this was a fair value gap. So as a trader who wants to maximize the Royal Q opportunity, fair value gaps will help you because the algorithm of the market must correct a gap. All right. A lot of the time, it will likely correct the price will have to move back to correct that imbalance. So this is an imbalance. This is an imbalance. That jump means, okay, you did not jump consecutively. Look at this one, for example. There's no imbalance here. The fact that this candle pumped high does not create an imbalance. Why? Look at the first candle. The first candle open and close. Look at here. Right? Let me use a line to help you understand this. Let me use a horizontal line. Now look at which example. All right, look at this was the open of this, and this is the wick of this candle on top. Of course, the candle was bearish and then later up closed here. Now, this was the line that jumped, the bar that jumped. But you see that the third candle, the price still came down enough that it also touched the level of the early previous candle. So that's how the market is meant to work. The prices of 3 candles must touch themselves kind of most of the time. All right. And when they don't touch, it creates a gap that introduces an imbalance which the market must correct. Okay, so I'm going to look for another candle that had a big jump but did not have a fair value gap. Let's look for one. All right, let's look for okay, look at this one. This was a jump, but hey, there's no fair value gap. Why? Because look at the first candle. All right, this is the candle here. This is the wick. Look at the wick of the first candle. The wick crossed, the price touched the 3 consecutive candles all went through that price level. Price went through it once, 2 times, the second candle, third one. So that's how the market is meant to operate. So when the market doesn't operate in that way, it creates a gap. So the smart money indicator automatically helps you flag the bullish and the bearish fair value gaps easily for yourself. So top gainer strategy, super powerful. On its own, super powerful, but it will be spicy powerful if you add a little bit of knowledge of fair value gaps. And you will see this happening every time in the market. It happens look at CVP. Let's see, is there a fair value gap in CVP? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So this is what you see. So by the way, remember, it's never 100% correct. This could break this down and go down and this will clear up, okay? So don't take it as 100%, but there's it's very likely that this fair value gap that was created had not been corrected. As you can see, there was no correction. All right, it was created. Price never came back to touch it. Price went high, and now price is coming back to touch the fair value gap. To me, this is a signal that just watch how this price moves. It's likely going to push up again, right? And remember, this is also close to the discount line. So hey, I'll watch this, see how the next few candles behave, and then I take it from there. So this is the concept of the fair value gap. All right, then let's look at another coin. Let's see. So this is a fair value gap that also is resting on an order block. This is an order block. So price came close. It didn't touch it, but came close and then went up. I'm looking for some other examples. Just hold on. Let me look for some couple of other examples for bullish fair value gaps. Okay, so this is a bearish fair value gap. What it means is that price will still come up here. And once it touches here, it will go down. All right. So use the KDJ to decide how you operate. But we're not really interested in bearish fair value gaps because we're just, for now, we just want to focus on the uptrend because of the bull run that is coming. All right. So let's just trying to look around to show you any of the markets where we have this fair value gaps created and obeyed. So just a moment. Okay, so look at this. This is AMB. Look at the left. There was a fair value gap. So this is similar to the hunting I was always mentioned. I say look out for hunting. You know, there will always be hunting. So this fair value gap was created here. Market pumped, but you see that there was no correction here. The market didn't come back to touch it, but the algorithm remembered. The algorithm remembered. That's why it came here. Came back to correct it. It came back here to correct it. So if I wake up, this was 11 o'clock this morning. Interestingly, I didn't have much time to look at the market in the morning. If I had looked at this, all right, and I had seen this on the 15-minute time frame, and I see this is discount here. A fair value gap is occurring on a discount line, and at the same time, this is like jackpot. All right, this is like jackpot. So I'll just quickly take this line, draw it from here, Fibonacci. Oh, okay, this would look too messy here. So let me go to the other. This is CVP, right? Which coin is this? This is AMB, sorry. So I'll just go here. Let's look for AMB, right? So this is the point we're discussing. And this is the fair value gap here. All right. Look at KDJ. KDJ pointed up here. The moment KDJ pointed up, seeing the fair value gap, I'll just give the signal. I'll post it. All right. And to calculate my take profit point, I'll just come from here, you know, just drag this to the bottom. Let's just say I entered here. So let's say we're just waiting for proof. I just entered here. Yeah, I could have gotten a very good 2.93%. I could have gotten 3% and disappeared. And if you decide to run it, you could have gotten 5%, 7%. Of course, you know, you don't want to keep dancing. But with the FVG I saw, market would pump. So I want you to go use this tip. Get a trading view account. Get your top gainer coin listed. Observe the fair value gaps on them. Look at where fair value gaps are, you know, getting close. Drop it in the chat and say FVG condition is met on this coin. Please let us investigate, and everybody will come in, look at it, and they're going to say, wow, 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 okay, let's do this, let's do this. So that is a short explanation of how you can use the fair value gaps in your trading. All right. And let me look at have it obeyed some fair value gaps, but once they are broken, it changes. So make sure you set up your smart money indicator tool and begin to use it to make money on the blockchain. And Royal Q is here to help you. Look at PAXG. PAXG also obeyed the fair value gap today. So you see, a lot of times it does obey. Sometimes it might not obey, that your margin calls got you covered. But sometimes, many times it does obey. Look at this. Fair value gap was created here. It points it out by itself. Then look at price came back, touched it. Sometimes the price will not touch it, it will just stop somewhere here. Don't worry, I just enter it. Once I can see that KDJ has met a condition, I just allow margin calls to take care of it. But look at this, it touched it. The moment it touched it, it went up. So let's go to PaxG and check what PaxG did here earlier. So this was the point, right? I think this was the point. Let me go see. All right. After this middle here, after this, so it was just there. Yeah, this was it. So even if you came in here and you said, let's go in here and trade here. You could have made your 1.3%. Super easy. All right. Super easy. All right. So that's FVG. Use it for your trading. Use FVG that's available on Smart Money Concepts indicator.